All right, welcome in everybody. This is Pucks for the Pine Pod. Post game here. The Maine Mariners taking the Norfolk Admirals 3-0 here on Friday night. Uh, One goal apiece for Maine in each period there. Maine out shooting Norfolk in this one 32-31. Maine getting the edge 12-11 in the first period, 7-6 in the second period. Then Norfolk out shooting Maine 14-3 in that third period. Norfolk does get 5 power play opportunities in this one. Maine shutting them down 0 for 5 there, and Maine 1 for 4. Goal scoring in this one, Phillip gets us started in the first period, assisted by Balgeron and Sheehy. DeVoe getting the second one there, his ninth of the season, assisted by McDonald and Massacott. And then McCallum with a power play goal at near the end of that third period, 18:05, assisted by Bean and Kalmikoff. Meyer with the shutout in this one, guys. 31 shots, all saved up. Great effort by him. So just real quick, kind of what did we see here in this one tonight, guys? Just kind of looking over my notes, in that first period, Norfolk had the early jump, really dominated the first couple minutes of play. But from there, Maine started to get, pucks in with some control. They didn't generate a lot of shots on those first few times, but they did force Norfolk to play in their own D zone, play some defense for a bit. And there was what I would call, a questionable cross-checking call on Phillip, sends Maine to the box in their first PK of the night. Maine gets a handful of clears and really did an effective job against this high-powered power play tonight, guys. Maine, again, creates some positive ozone time after killing it off, making Norfolk work a little bit. Then it's at that 10:04 Maine scoring, Phillip from Balgeron and Sheehy. Not long after that, we get matching penalties. We go on the 4-4. Actually, this happens twice in this game tonight. Norfolk was able to create some chances, but Meyer very, very sharp that entire period. DeVoe and Phillip follow this up with some chances down deep on Milich, but everything at that point is stopped. Towards the end of the period, Norfolk starting to find their game a bit, control the play, and generate some high danger looks. McCallum does get called for a penalty at the 16:25, 16:35 mark, I should say, second of the period. So, Norfolk, able to generate and create that. Shazowski gets a great look for a pass by Sword. Meyer makes an incredible save on that one, keeping it 1-0 at that point, guys. Meyer makes another save, but Maine able to get clears and kills that penalty off, second of the period. Norfolk, I've thought much sharper on that second power play in there. The first, I think Maine really had to work and fight hard. Meyer obviously was their best penalty killer tonight. Near the end of the period, though, Maine does draw a penalty on Musser, carries a minute 23 of that PP time into the second period. Um, Going into that second period, not able to generate much off of the rest of that power play, but at 1:44, McDonald out behind the net to DeVoe, and he scores top shelf, making it 2-0 Maine early in that period, assisted there by McDonald and Massacott. Then at the 3:37 mark, Thompson called for a cross-checking penalty. About halfway through that PK, though, Florent turns the puck over and DeVoe, and DeVoe was able to cut through the middle, gets tripped up, penalty call. We go back to that 4-4. As Maine is getting on the penalty, though, or getting on the power play, I should say, and Meyer's forced to make a really great save. Maine just kind of fumbled it away a little bit, or wasn't really paying too much attention here. Great pass from behind the net, right to Florent, right out in front. Meyer able to stop that. A bit later, Massacott takes a shot. It doesn't get through, and I noted this one because it doesn't get through. Norfolk gets the puck back. Norfolk actually attempts a really nice thought here, stretch pass, but Massacott able to get back, breaks that play up. I just thought really great instincts there on Massacott. Then at 11:06, Maine takes a fourth penalty, guys. This time on Bergeron for a roughing call. Feels like at this point Maine's starting to play with some fire here. It's still just 2-0 at this point, and you're playing with fire against this really great high-powered Norfolk power play. But Maine continues that strong PK play, breaking up a lot of passes. Hudson gets a great takeaway, puts it right on a breaking, streaking Kalmikoff, but Milich stood up on that one, makes the save. Maine is able to kill off the penalty. Then not long after this, Norfolk gets a 2-on-1 with streaking Timoveyev coming down the middle of the ice. Meyer stops that one again, remaining very, very sharp throughout. I do think that at this point turnovers is starting to become a bit of a story for Norfolk as Maine is just getting a lot of disrupting a lot of passes and disrupting Norfolk's flow and ability to get much extended ozone time there through that second period. Really through two though, I love Maine's defensive instincts, especially on that PK. You end that second period 2-0. Going into the third, guys, you are expecting a push from Norfolk at this point. But early on, it's Bean and McCallum getting some looks. Norfolk does get the puck in, starting to get some looks. Florent gets a steal off Bean, but is denied by Meyer on that one. Maine does get a couple more great looks to Vo and then Phillip down the slot, all stopped by Milic, who I thought Milic played well tonight as well. You know, just kind of just a little bit outplayed by Meyer, right? In this one, really a good goalie matchup here. Yeah, but like I said, Meyer continued to stay very sharp. Early, in that third period, had to fight off some aggressive shots and a lot of rebound opportunities. Norfolk just not able to get anything through. Then really the big spot here in the third period is when Maine takes their fifth penalty, a very obvious call, hooking call on Vidmar in the O zone at 12:43. Just overplayed it, a little too aggressive on that one, guys. Norfolk had some chances on this one, but Meyer able to keep them all out of the net. They kill off the penalty. And then it's around the 3:30 mark, or 3 minutes, about 3.5 minutes left, I should say. Norfolk does pull the goalie, but it's during that 6-on-5. Norfolk takes a penalty. We don't really see this one get called very often, but Golder for throwing a stick. I believe it was a broken stick. So he goes to the box, kind of taking that 6-on-5 away. And on the power play, it's Kalmakov getting a great look, bounces around a little bit, creates a rebound. It's McCallum at 18:05, right in front over the right side of Milic, making it 3-0 Maine. And that will be your final. Meyer with the shutout. Like I said a couple of times here, exceptionally sharp all night. It gets a well-earned first star of the game. So just taking a quick look around the ECHL tonight, Trois Rivières 3-2 over Jacksonville. That's a final there. Iowa 4-1 over Kalamazoo. Wheeling putting up a 6 spot in Indy with that win. At last check, we do have overtime. Atlanta 2, Worcester 2. So I'm sure maybe that one's gone final at this point, but 2-2 there in overtime at the time of recording. Greenville 2-2 against Florida in the third. Bloomington 3, Savannah 4 in that third period. Kansas City 2, Cincy 1 in the third. Toledo 3, Fort Wayne 1 in the third. And the late ones, Utah 2-0, second intermission there at Tulsa. Wichita 6, Allen 2 in their second intermission. Rapid City 1, Idaho 1 in their first intermission. And Adirondack and Tahoe set to get kicked off here in just a little bit. So good win, breaking the 5-game losing streak for the Maine Mariners. Great to see. A much needed 2 points if you're going to stay any place close to this playoff race, guys. Be back here tomorrow night, 6 p.m. puck drop. Keeley will be back at it here, Maine and Norfolk. So last road game for a while, for about a month. So if you have any interest in checking them out live, you better do it tomorrow. Going to be a bit. Have a good night, guys.